I wanted to do a little quick video for everyone. I can't do a lot today. I yawned the wrong way and tweaked my back again. Not as bad, but it hurts. I'm going to be letting it rest for a bit. Maybe I'll be better by this afternoon. But this is something that people ask about a lot, and there are a lot of myths about it. So I want to talk about the pros and cons of shielding a guitar. Now, this is a 335. Because of its hollow body construction, it is not shielded. It has partial shielding because the braided wire from the pickups to the pots and from the pots to the output jack provide a bit of shielding. But in the area of the pots where the wires are connected to the tabs, there is no shielding. And so as a result, when you take your hands off the strings, and as soon as you touch the strings, that buzz goes away. It has nothing to do with humbucker versus single coil. It's just a matter of it's open to electrical noises in the environment, and your body acts as shielding when you're touching the strings or the grounded hardware like the bridge here. This Telecaster here, I just shielded for a buddy, and also got some new Murray pickups. You'll get to hear these soon. This is a different set than the ones in mine. And his Tele is shielded, and while you still have single coil hum, once the string noise stops, there's almost no difference between not touching the hardware, the metal anywhere, and touching the hardware. Especially in this middle position, which doesn't have any single cycle hum, 60 cycle hum. You don't have that buzz because the guitar is already shielded regardless of whether you're playing it or not, which is nice because a lot of times when you're playing, you lift your hand to do a change or something, or whatever reason you got to talk to the audience, there'll be a buzz coming out of the guitar, even something with humbuckers like you heard. So with this, there's no zzz, it kind of comes in the background whenever you're not touching the strings. So that's a very nice real world example of what shielding can do for you. It can also help with like a neon sign, a Coors Light sign on the stage over your amp that can play havoc with guitar pickups, etc. Won't do anything about cell phone interference really. A little bit, not much. And of course, if that neon sign's putting junk on the power, that'll come through your amp. There's no perfect solution unless you have control over all the variables. But that's pretty much just the biggest name touring bands have control over all those variables. But shielding does help. And there's a lot of myth that when you shield a guitar, it makes it darker. If you do it incorrectly, or you go overboard and you shield, wrap the pickups, I've seen people put shielding inside the pickup cover of a Strat. That's not necessary. So if you do it wrong, or you do it too much, or you have a partial shield which is not connected to ground, then you actually are making a capacitor. But in a properly shielded guitar, it still has plenty of high end. But because there's not that riding behind it, you can actually turn the amp up more and get more treble without more white noise. So a well-shielded guitar, and I'm not the only one who can do it, a well-shielded guitar, the pros greatly outweigh the almost mythical cons. The only real con to it is if this, this is a replica of a 50s Tele. If this were a 50s Tele with a Tadeo signature and everything, I would not shield this guitar. I would say use that in the studio, use that, at home, for the road, for gigs, get a replica made and shield it. I would not make any changes to an actual vintage valuable instrument, especially the rare 50s examples. But for this clone, hell yeah. Thanks for watching.